Hello and welcome back to the Third Degree, and today we're going to be pissing a few people off. Now, let me start this by saying I really like Star Wars.
Yeah.
I love Star Wars. We've grown up with Star Wars. We spent countless hours of our childhoods playing Lego Star Wars, Battlefront 2 as well.
How much actual Lego did we have?
Yep. How much? Yeah.
Lots
and Lego.
Lots. We grew up watching Dad's special edition VHS copies of the original trilogy.
Yeah, which are still just outside this room. So, yes, don't go into this or out of this thinking that we hate Star Wars, because we love Star Wars. But today, we're going to be talking about how Star Wars is kind of shit.
It is. It is. Oh God, it's so bad.
Yeah,
it's so bad. But
now I think shall we say, grease the wheels with anybody who might be pissed off with us
after 20 seconds.
Yeah. Star Wars. We're mainly talking about the movies.
I'm only talking about the movies,
and I think the movies. Okay, some good things that about the movies. Music, excellent.
Can't go wrong.
It's just. Yeah, it's flawless.
Makes it.
Editing, as anybody who's done any digging into the Star Wars films knows, the editing saved the first two Star Wars films from being absolute disasters. It's very well edited. Sound design, costume design, absolutely excellent. Art design, set design, all of that. Then Star Wars starts to fall apart after that for me. There's something that I like to think of, and it's hard to describe, is that Star Wars, in terms of writing, the meta story, George Lucas is absolutely incredible at. Because the whole Star Wars saga is, the story of it is excellent. It's when you get into that micro storytelling, the individual scenes, the dialogue, that it really you can really see the issues with Star Wars, because the dialogue is often very bad.
Imagine if you grab a bar of dairy milk chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Open it up, think, oh yeah, dairy milk, and inside it is just shit.
That's going to peak so much, but I don't care, 'cause that's really funny.
That's what it is, okay? The overall, the outside, the idea of it, the concepts behind it, the overall shell, the packaging of what Star Wars is. It's this outlandish sci-fi fantasy. It's based on mythology, quite a lot of Viking.
It's great. It's awesome.
It's so good. But then
it's awesome. Yeah.
There's people like us that love it, and then actually can take a step back and think, wow,
this is bad.
That was crap. That was
like people like to say, out of all the Star Wars films, the prequels were the bad ones. The prequels were badly written. The prequels had bad dialogue. There was just as much of that in the originals. It's just the nostalgia and the fact that they were made in the 70s.
They're not
people
bad.
Let it slide.
They were so groundbreaking at the time.
For the time, yeah.
And I still think that they deserve that place in cinema history. They have earned that place in cinema history. But then again, so have all the others, but for
different
wrong reasons, I think. I think, the original three back in the 70s and 80s were just brilliant, because it was easy to follow. It made sense.
Yeah.
It took risks and they paid off.
Yeah. As we say, again, the storytelling, those things that it did to pay things off and the way things were set up were very well done. I think it's the aspects that you really dig into, when you look at scenes and things. That's it. For me, that doesn't do it when you actually start thinking about it. I think there's still lots about Star Wars films that, especially the originals, that new filmmakers can really learn from what George Lucas did with it.
Yeah. It's watching how they were made.
Yeah.
Not just watching the films, but digging into the stories behind making the film. The sound design you mentioned, which is brilliant. One of the sound designers, to get the laser noises for the guns and whatever, was throwing rocks in a field with his son or something, and one of them hit, one of the supporting wires for a telegraph pole.
Oh yeah.
Hit that, and it went down it. So he went up to it and started hitting it with different things.
Yeah.
And then went and got his recording equipment, and it's that as the vibration wabbles down this amazingly long, sturdy metal wire. Learning things like that, these everyday sounds that can then just be interpreted in different ways. It's not all about digital editing. It was so analog.
Yeah.
The original. It was analog sci-fi.
Yeah.
Which made it so... It worked so brilliantly.
Yeah, I think I always equate a lot of the production of Star Wars and how it came about is very similar to how the Lord of the Rings came about. It was small-time filmmakers way out of their depth and forced to use every single thing that they had available and the passion to actually make what they wanted to achieve the goal that they wanted to achieve. And
that's all it needs, a little bit of passion, a little bit of creative thinking.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you can even look at original trilogy in comparison to the prequels. Like George Lucas, I think, was one of the only people who was passionate about the prequels when they were being made. A lot of the people you can see kind of phoned it in a little bit. Same with Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Yeah,
the amount of
too many cooks started joining in.
Yeah,
you lost all the
you lose it.
Practical effects because people wanted to rein it in a little bit.
Yeah,
and you end up with VFX studios being brought in rather than Weta Workshop. I think it was Weta Digital because it's easier.
Yeah, and plus
logistically to do it digitally.
Yeah.
Whereas it looks so much better in the Lord of the Rings films.
The Weta Workshop's work, I know they do still work with their digital area because they do like the maquettes for the 3D scans and things. But I think once you take that maquette that you could have turned into a mask and make it a 3D model, it looks dodgy. It's the same with the sets that clearly were going to be made for the prequels, then they just made them into 3D models and blue screened them in instead.
Yeah. It's like, why would you do that when, like, let's do a 3D mask thing. Why would you have a bloke running around with blue dots all over him when you can just put him in an outfit?
Yeah. And I know for a fact, watching how The Hobbit was made, they did that a lot. They tried, I think Azog, people like to hate on Azog for how he looks. That design was put together in under a month because they'd done, I think, 4 different complete prosthetic outfits with 3 different actors before that.
If it just doesn't work, it just doesn't work. And then digital, I think digital should be a last resort.
Yeah.
Rather than straight from the bat. What do we need to do visually?
Yeah.
Let's think, it should be down to costume department and makeup first.
Yeah.
That should be your first port of call, which is why episode 7 was, I think, better produced than any of the prequels.
Yeah.
Because J.J. Abrams went back. He's a big Star Wars fan. He's quite open about this. That's why he's come back to do 9.
Yeah. And should have done 8.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute. But he because he loves that, and he grew up in the 70s and 80s watching these films, learning all these tricks of the trade from masters back then, like George Lucas and Spielberg, of course, who still does like to use actual prosthetics and effects rather than digital. But it's moving with the times, and I think it's moved too much. And J.J. Abrams did that and brought back the actual old school.
Yeah.
Was it still the Jim Henson
company? I think so, yeah. I believe it was. A lot of it.
Because obviously Frank Oz was Yoda. That's where they got him from the Hensons, I think. And it was... It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no real way to describe it. It's lovely seeing actual... I'm going to say hard, and digital being soft effects and hard effects.
Yeah, special effects versus visual effects. I think is the correct
but visual could still be digital visual. So I mean,
the special is the masks and things. The actual
tangible, a tangible, interactive, character, environment, whatever. Because
I think you even ask a lot of your actors. Even actors who understand and get with it and are very imaginative, it's still
difficult.
Yeah, like have you seen the behind the scenes footage of Ewan McGregor in episode 2 when he's on Camino?
Yeah, when there's nothing.
There's literally nothing.
It's just blue and
a
panel.
Yeah, that's it. And then there's a person with a cardboard cutout of a Caminoan head on them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when you're at that point, surely you have to just take a step back and think, okay, yeah, digital's cool and all, but really?
But you could probably get... There's...
Like,
Sorry.
they could have...
Fell over my own sentence.
Yeah,
but...
they could have made that set.
Oh,
even if it was just
yeah.
the corridor and then blue screen the outside, because you're not going to make all the cloning pods and shit.
Yeah.
But make the corridor at least. I mean, come on.
What's up with bloody just painting it roughly in?
Yeah.
Because it's not difficult to matte paint over something.
No.
Some footage. Just matte paint. Just actually physically get a brush, get a load of people that have built that set anyway and just put blue boards up. Just whack on the rough outlines of where everything's going to be, so actors can actually look in the right direction, respond to the environment that they're in.
It's like, look at... I know I keep doing it. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is the biggest comparison I can draw. Look at The Hobbit in the Bag End set when they had the scale slave thing, and there's Ian McKellen in the green screen set with the light bulbs with the dwarfs' faces on.
Mm.
It's a little bit, but even still, actors are going to struggle with that.
I understand.
But at least the green screen set was the exact same structure as Bag End. It was all exactly the same, mapped out and tracked.
Yeah.
So it's
I
at least the
understand
environment.
why they did that there and didn't do it in Lord of the Rings, because you've got all those characters that are... You've got, what is it, 12, 13 dwarves?
Yeah.
And then
Hobbit.
you've got the Hobbit as well.
Yeah.
And then you've got 6'3" Gandalf as well.
Yeah.
It was easier in the Lord of the Rings because it's just 6 foot people and Gandalf,
a couple of hobbits,
and then the odd hobbit and a dwarf. But I mean, dwarves are meant to be what, 4.5, 5 foot anyway.
Yeah, and the fact that John Rhys Davies was nearly a foot taller in actuality than the people who played the Hobbit, so they didn't need anything else. They didn't need to complicate it any further. It was
but
just
a lot of
fluke.
the shots were forced perspective. You can see that almost the Hobbit's eye view shots where Gandalf's just behind him on steps, didn't they? They just had blocks that they could stand on.
They still could have done that in The Hobbit, but they chose to do it in 3D.
Mm.
People, I know 3D makes money, but a lot of people don't like 3D.
I try not to go and see films in 3D.
Yeah, me neither. But like the fact that they did that meant that they couldn't do forced perspective, because if you have a 3D camera and you've got an actor that's 4 or 5 foot away from your other actor, you can see that in the 3D camera, and that's why it doesn't work. But yeah, they haven't done any Star Wars in 3D, have they?
They re-released The Phantom Menace in 3D.
That's post conversion to 3D.
I'm sure all the new ones have been in 3D.
Have they?
There's normally the option that you can go and see it in 3D or 2D.
I've never noticed because I haven't been to see them in 3D.
No, I just don't. If there's an option to go and see it in 3D, I don't. I go and see it in 2D.
Yeah,
always.
I think it's still a gimmick even after all this
it's
time.
still not great. The technology behind it just isn't.
No, it's not.
Isn't good, especially for people like me and you.
Yeah, have to wear the glasses over our glasses.
Have to put the glasses either under or over our existing glasses, because I don't wear contacts.
No, me neither. No, I think that's
horrendously frustrating.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably hindered a lot of the production of some of the films by doing it in 3D. That I don't know, I can't say, but like I think a lot of the production, it's the production issues nowadays. Like we go on about the issues that were actually had with the execution of the old ones, but the things that are ruining the new ones is the production issues that we hear about every week.
It's almost as if
directors being replaced and things going on and drama and things, and like, come on,
there are almost too many solutions nowadays.
Yeah.
Whereas back then there was a problem, you sat down, you thought, what could make that work? Could that work? Let's try it. If it didn't work, it didn't work. You didn't try and find another way to do the same thing. That's just
you're just trying
insanity. You try it and you try and do something completely different to reach the same end.
Yeah, but like it's going back onto your analogy of, too many cooks in the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
Nowadays, with the Star Wars films that have been released, Rogue One, Solo suffered from it, especially The Last Jedi. Episode 9 has even struggled with it. It's not as though there are too many cooks in the kitchen. It's though that one cook came in, started making a recipe, then another cook came in after he'd left with his own recipe to finish the already being made meal that the previous chef had started to make.
All right. Well, you've sufficiently burnt that analogy to a crisp.
Yep.
So.
But it's that idea that people are not coming in to fulfill one idea. It's people are coming in with their own ideas to a production that's already being made.
Yeah.
Which is the issue with modern Star Wars. Look at Solo. Had how many directors? It had 3.
Yeah. Before they settled on Ron Howard.
Yeah, and I mean, that film probably wasn't going to be good in the first place, but
I still think it's up there. I still think, let's get back. I want to come on to my main point of this gripe. Everything apart from the main Star Wars films are great.
Yeah.
Look at the background to it.
Yeah.
I think let's take a step back a little bit from the main saga, should we call it, ignoring anything with an episode title.
Yes.
They're all pants. Right? Rogue
comparatively
One is the best Star Wars film that there has ever been. That is my opinion, but from a production perspective, from an actual execution perspective,
I completely agree on that.
Story, dialogue, narrative.
Then again, I understand why people didn't like Rogue One because of how it sat with other Star Wars films.
It doesn't have to
which
sit.
Is weird. Yeah,
They had all new characters apart from Darth Vader. Kill them all off.
Yeah,
because they cannot be canon.
Yeah, which I really enjoyed.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, they didn't try to shoehorn people into the main continuity, which I really enjoyed. But even going past that, Clone Wars.
Clone Wars is great. Rebels is pretty good as well.
I love Rebels.
You still get the odd episode in there that's just like, oh yeah, this is a kid's show, isn't it? For goodness sake.
Yeah. But then again, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
you know,
it's got to appease to everybody. That's the thing, because it's been such an established thing since 1977. You know, it's 40 odd, nearly 50 years later.
Yeah,
you've got to still reach the new audience that are going to be watching. Is it on? It's on Disney Channel now,
XD,
is it?
I think.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got to reach those people that went to the cinema to first watch it in 1977. Yep. That's a lot of people to try and please.
Yeah.
You want to be able to have your kid or even grandkid sat there watching Disney XD, is it?
And have the same reaction that you're having to
and have your granddad sat there watching it thinking, oh yeah, I've seen this. This is good. Oh, I remember that character.
Yeah.
This is actually good.
And I think that might be an issue. That might be something that causes the issues, is that how do you do that? As a filmmaker, making it, how do you do that? I mean, come on.
How do you please everyone?
Yeah.
Look at it that way. You've got to try and please everybody.
That kind of goes on to the other saying, is that if you try to please everyone, you're only ever going to please no one. But you can't think like that when it comes to Star Wars. They have to try and please everyone.
Yeah.
Which is a massive ball.
Give up and try something new.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Rogue One works so well.
Yeah, I think separating Star Wars out into different areas, like I'm going to be that guy, like the expanded universe always did, there are different things for different people. It's not everyone wants this, so we're going to try and do this, but there are different things.
I think you're totally right. The extended universe, I hate using that phrase.
Yeah. What is now Legends.
Yeah, almost lore. Yeah. L-O-R-E.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate to keep doing this, but Lord of the Rings has such that depth of mythology behind it that almost Star Wars has, but is lacking. If they tapped into that a little bit more, there'd be more to it. Like Rogue One, that was why that was so good story-wise.
Yeah, because
you knew a little bit about that, and it led straight into 1977.
Yeah,
by minutes.
Yeah, I think the reason that I enjoyed Rogue One is because it did something new, but it also lent so heavily on the nostalgia of the fact that it goes straight up to the beginning of the franchise.
Yeah.
And but by the very last scene, I was just like, what?
And it takes away that whole thing as, oh great, we built the greatest weapon in the universe. Can anyone destroy it? No. Well, if they shoot into this little tiny hole.
Yeah.
Let's just cover the hole up. The Family Guy spoof.
Yeah.
Can we just put some boards over there? But knowing that it was an actual intentional design from an Imperial not wannabe.
Yeah.
Almost a rebel.
Yeah, rebel sympathizer.
Yeah.
I say, yeah.
Anti-imperialist.
Yeah.
You know, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. I really do, just as a film in general.
Yeah. Don't think of it as a Star Wars film if you don't want to, but
because everybody knows what Star Wars is.
Yeah.
So you can just go into this with just being any old guy off the street that's never seen anything. You can just go in and think, oh wow, that was actually a good film. It was almost like a heist film.
Yeah, it is a heist film, isn't it?
Stealing some plans, and there's just a few laser fights, spaceships. And
it's one of the only other times that we've seen any of the kind of the gritty underworld as well.
Yes, it was nice to see.
What's his name?
Oh gosh,
Cassian. Somebody Cassian Andor.
Yeah,
is that
sounds about right.
He when he's he's chased by the stormtroopers, isn't he? And he's in the underworld, and I love that. That is one of my absolute favourite things that we've barely ever seen in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Never mind the death sticks, but the idea behind that bit, that still is probably one of the more intriguing scenes of the prequels.
Oh yeah,
is when they're in the underworld, and I'm like, this
so
is
different.
Cool.
Yeah,
this looks like Blade Runner.
Yeah, and
I'm like,
did reference Blade
Star
Runner
Wars
quite heavily.
Do more of this.
Yes,
like Jedi: The Fallen Order. We were saying, looks to be doing exactly the same thing. Star Wars: The Clone Wars did it.
The story of the new Battlefront 2 kind of did it.
Yeah, which I liked,
but that
pretty much everybody hated.
I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I think our opinions are different to the rest of Star Wars fans, but let's just put that out there. But like the fact that you do get to see, saying again in Clone Wars, that it affords you different storytelling opportunities.
Oh,
you know, when Anakin goes on the warpath after Ahsoka's framed for, I can't even remember what she's framed for. She's framed for murdering somebody.
Yeah, I think so. She disappears.
Yeah, and then he's going like all noir detective.
Yeah.
On a Madden in the Coruscant Underworld, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah. You've got that more depth. The great thing about that was it filled in the missing holes from the film.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you do episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. You've got 3 different antagonists throughout all of that, and you've got no idea where these guys have come from. It's like you introduce a great villain there. You see the Emperor in the episode 1. It's like, oh great, a little echo there. And then you introduce his apprentice, Darth Maul, because Darth Vader's not around. Oh great, yeah. And then they just slice him in half at the end.
And then
you've got Christopher Lee in the second one. Yeah. It's like, okay, so where was he in the last one?
Yeah.
And then they chop his head off at the start of the third one. And you've got General Grievous all of a sudden. It's like, where is what?
Yeah. There's no continuity here whatsoever.
Why are you just throwing villains that just like, oh, let's just get all these villains. Let's just throw them at the walls. Whatever sticks. Oh yeah, great. That guy's got 4 arms. Let's just leave it there. Yeah. Fuck off.
Yeah. No,
I'm gonna have to censor that.
I completely
because this
agree.
is now a Disney property, so we need to be careful. But oh my god.
But the thing is, if you'd carried, I wouldn't even have mind having Count Dooku in episode 2. I don't mind that. I think he was somewhat interesting. A turncoat Jedi that they explain away in the film, and then kill him off, but then bring back Darth Maul instead of General Grievous.
Yeah. They are doing that now, but it's almost as if they're just trying to patch up the mistakes or errors.
It's like the builders didn't do a good job, but the people you're getting to fix the wall are doing a way better job. You know, like if you can look at it retrospectively, hindsight is 20/20 as they say, but you can look at it and say, episode 1, kill off Darth Maul. Yeah, go ahead. Bring in Count Dooku. But also have Count Dooku in episode 1.
Yeah, you should. Yeah,
as
that
a
should have
Jedi.
been done.
And then bring him in episode 2, kill him off beginning of episode 3. Oh, look, Darth Maul's back.
Yeah, because Count Dooku is essentially all about the politics.
Yeah.
It's a very politically minded character.
And episode 1 is all about the politics.
And episode 1 is all about the politics and the trade routes and all that kind of crap.
Yeah, I think that's got to have been intentional.
It's dull, but it's necessary to set up the rest. If you'd have worked the story better and maybe had him, I don't know, as a flashback or something, or even have flipping Qui-Gon Jinn mention him.
Yeah.
Because Count Dooku mentions Liam Neeson.
Yeah. Like, set him up as a Jedi who is interested in politics. Maybe a Jedi who doesn't want to be in the Republic, but still wants to be a Jedi.
Yeah.
That kind of... It also sets more seeds for the turn of Anakin Skywalker if you have a turncoat Jedi who disagrees with the Republic and not necessarily the Jedi, but disagrees with the Republic. It, again, works better. But we can say that 15 years after the films have finished.
We were saying it 15 minutes after the films were finished.
I mean, I was 6 when the films finished, but...
Yeah, and you still had a better opinion than half the production team.
Yeah. No.
If you... Just
It
don't
gets
watch.
me angry.
Don't watch Star Wars. Watch and interact with everything surrounding it.
Yeah. Be one of those guys that just devours the expanded universe.
Yeah. Almost totally ignoring everything that happens in the main canon.
Yeah. But I think Clone Wars has done such a good job of bringing in, and Rebels has done such a good job of bringing in a lot of the lore that Disney abandoned when they made Legends, to force the hand of the people who want to keep the expanded universe away. They kept, because Darth Maul with his robot legs was expanded universe. Yeah. Darth Bane and the Knights of the Old Republic was expanded universe. That's been brought in through the Clone Wars. What else has been brought in through the Clone Wars? I literally just had one on the tip of my tongue.
Just the Coruscant Underworld.
Yeah, and Grand Admiral Thrawn was a character that could have been completely lost to time.
Rebels, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And he's awesome in Rebels.
He was badass. He was like Voldemort of Star Wars. Great.
So incredibly well executed in Rebels.
Isn't that the name of his ship, the Executioner?
No.
What's the name of his ship?
Admonitor. That's what it was called. Yes. But
see what I mean? You can just get into these little nitty gritty. There's so much
detail,
such a bulk and wealth of knowledge and mythology that is just so much more interesting.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you go into different levels of it. Like, say the different novels, Death Troopers, which is a zombie outbreak on a pirate ship, which is just of course that's got its own audience, but then you've got things like the Clone Wars which will not deal with that.
Well, they kind of did with the weird Geonosian zombies.
Yes, they did. And they brought in so much stuff happened in the Clone Wars. I think that's why I don't know why they're still planning so many Star Wars films. I think give it a TV show. Give it a few shows.
Yeah, just let Netflix buy something.
Yeah, or just Disney Plus. You've got the platform for Star Wars. That's why The Mandalorian, I think, is going to do incredibly well.
Yeah. It might just be
because it will show us that Coruscant Underworld. It will show us that gritty side of Star Wars that we want.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think you can leave the more higher level, all of the Force-related stuff to the movies. Which I think it works a little bit better.
Yeah.
That way.
Because we haven't really had the Jedi in the do they call it the anthology series? Disney with Rogue One and Solo.
Yeah.
It's almost ignoring the aspect of magic, shall we say?
Yeah.
It's almost magic.
It is just magic. It's just magic. But by this point, looking at like Rebels and how both of the animated shows explored the Force, it's just magic. Like the Clone Wars introduced the gods of the Force. You know, the Mortis people.
Yeah.
It's just magic. Rebels had time travel and interdimensional temples and moving cave paintings and shit, and that's just magic. Yeah, last season of Rebels.
I gave up with Rebels.
Yeah, no. Thing is, it got good though.
It did have some good moments, like Ahsoka and Darth Vader. That was great.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that was good.
There are some magnificent. The Force Unleashed. Great storyline.
Yeah.
Great storyline and a really enjoyably playable game.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah. The storyline for the second one kind of fell flat, but...
Yeah, but it was still better than Phantom Menace.
It was. It was indeed. Another one of my favourite characters came from The Force Unleashed is Ram Kota.
Ram Kota. Who I started to see in Rebels when what's-his-name gets blinded.
Yes.
Started to see a little bit of that creeping in.
Yeah, but I think that his story as well, like the fact that he distrusted the clone troopers and wanted his own militia.
Yeah.
It parallels some things that they like to set up but should have done in the prequels.
There was so much that could have been done.
Mace Windu should have been the Ram Kota in the prequels. Shouldn't have liked his clone troopers. Should have had his own militia.
Yeah.
Or Kit Fisto, because he's always on the outliers. And
I think we could talk about this for hours.
And we already have spoken about it for far too long. Apologies for spending so long, but we've got lots of thoughts on this. Yeah. There. And please, if we've really, really pissed you off, then make sure to comment and dislike this video.
Oh, I really hope we've pissed some people off.
Yeah.
I know we've pissed some people off. You know, it was weird when you pitched this to me, but I also thought, you know what? Yeah. Someone needs to come out and say it quite loudly that Star Wars sucks. And they need to stop.
Yeah.
Episode 8 was turd.
God awful.
It was a big, steaming, coily, first thing in the morning, you know, it's kind of steamy, there's like a frost on it.
That's what we've done now. We've Ryan Johnson the Star Wars community with this video. Some people will wholeheartedly agree with us. Some people might agree but not see where we've come from. Some people will hate us so much for this. But the thing is, that's what... When you have such a large group of people and such a vast amount of creative media that spans 50 years, there are going to be a lot of hits and there are going to be a lot of misses and there are going to be a lot of people that dislike certain things and like certain things. And I think that's the thing with it, is there's so much stuff. You're not going to please everyone with any of it, really.
Oh, but they're trying to please everyone.
Yeah.
That's where it falls flat. If you just have one film, Rogue One, Solo, where you've not got to worry about anything carrying over, although they are doing with Solo, which I'm a bit peeved at, but it doesn't have to happen, and that's what makes it great.
Yeah. I'm glad that they're wrapping up the Skywalker saga now.
Yeah.
Because it
oh god, the title of the next one.
It forces them to... It forces them now to step away from it. Like, we're getting Knights of the Old Republic, finally.
Great game.
Like, I can't believe that we're finally getting Knights of the Old Republic.
Such a good story as well.
Yeah, and I'm not sure whether it's confirmed yet or still rumoured, but Dan and Dave from Game of Thrones, the showrunners on that, are supposed to be
I've heard this.
doing the Old Republic, which
would be great.
Yeah.
Benioff and Weiss doing...
Yes. Thank you. But yeah, we're going to wrap this up now. Just if we pissed you off, let us know. If you agree with us, then let us know in the comments and like the video and subscribe for more kind of stuff like this. Hopefully less controversial in the future.
Nah, more controversial in the future.
Maybe a bit of both. Maybe some harmless stuff, maybe some incredibly controversial stuff. But if you don't have a different opinion, then what's the point in having one? You know?
Correct. Don't be sheep.
Yep.
Let's wrap it up.
So, thank you very much. We will see you all next time.